Welcome to another episode of The Collective, where you will hear all things collecting and much, much more. I am your co-host, Zack Mo, aka a Wild Deidre has appeared.
That caught me by surprise. You get me every week. I'm Collector, your co-host, aka Harrison the Third.
Nice shout out. Nice. I don't even think he listens.
I don't know if he does.
He doesn't listen. Casey, you suck. If you do listen, you suck, but I still love you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
My headphones are
Uh-oh.
making some weird clicky noises. It's not
His
great.
ears are too big.
My ears are too big.
Too big.
I'm gonna have to order some new headphones. It's okay though. Yeah, Black Friday's around the corner. I'll just get some cheap headphones.
There you go. That's fun.
Or I'll use my Turtle Beaches like you.
That's what I do. That's cool. Yeah.
So you want me to ask you a question? It looks like you do.
Well, I mean, I thought you had one, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I can just answer it.
I've been getting a lot of letters in the mail, actually.
Letters? Who's been sending them?
My mailbox is stuffed with letters, and I open them up, and everybody wants to know how sick were you last week that you decided to cancel the podcast?
Well, because
and the
I'm
number one requested question was, did you shit your pants?
No.
That's a bummer.
To answer the first question, because I'm a type 1 diabetic, I have no immune system. So when I get sick, it's like never a normal cold. It's always like to the fucking max. So I definitely had like a crazy sinus infection, barely able to talk, couldn't breathe out of my nose. It was terrible. And I really had to rest up because I was the best man at my homie's wedding this weekend.
Dope.
Shout out Jorge and Kate, got married. So I had to really rest up, and I was still sick at the wedding, but I nailed the speech. Everybody thought I was funny. I wrote it on Friday night. The wedding was on Saturday.
That checks out completely.
You know how
honestly, I'm proud of you for not writing it on Saturday.
Okay, well, technically, it was 3 a.m.
Right. Okay.
So it was Saturday.
More realistic. That makes a little bit more sense.
Hey, I win.
But even still, I mean, you wrote it before you went to sleep for the day of the wedding. So.
And then as I just finished writing it, I'm laying in bed in my room, and I realized I didn't pack my fucking belt.
I was going to say, like, what did you forget for your suit, bro?
I realized I didn't pack my belt, and all I have is my stupid fucking Vans, like, it's like gray olive. So, like, I shot up in bed, and I said, fuck. So the wedding was in this really cool, very nice little village called historic Smithville in southern Jersey. It's like Galloway, New Jersey.
Yep.
So it's like this little like village. It's like all these little shops. There's like a pond in the middle of the whole place. It was very adorable, very cute. So I know my friend Tom. I knew him and his girlfriend were gonna go out into the shops in the morning, and I mean Saturday is one of my days off. I'm sleeping as late as I possibly can, with having to be up for the wedding. So I texted him. I said, "Hey, when you go into the village, can you see if you could find me a black belt? Because I forgot mine. The last shop he went into, he found one."
Oh, nice. You did find one.
Yeah, he found one. So I didn't look like a fucking dick. And then what's funny is right next to me, actually, I have the belt that I bought.
There you go.
This is the one that was supposed to come with me, but it didn't. But everything else went without a hitch.
Can you return it?
Why return it? It's a nice belt.
Well, because now you have another extra belt that your buddy bought.
Yeah, but that one was like $20. It's not that nice.
All right. Well, enjoy having so many belts.
I like variety. Maybe I'll put it in a Ziploc bag.
I bought a belt from this company. I shouldn't shout them out unless they pay us because we got mad viewers, but the company was called Grip 6. I haven't bought enough.
You don't pay us.
I haven't bought another belt since, bro. I got to be honest. I probably bought it like 5 years ago.
Well, the Vans one I bought a long time ago. And I mean, I'd show you, but then I'd have to take it off, and that's just too much. Nobody needs to see that. Excuse me.
Not without paying to subscribe to your.
I'm sure you could say it on here.
I don't know if you can. OF. We'll say that.
OF. My fans only. Yeah. If you want to see me take off the belt, you got to subscribe there
I
and
heard there's
request
no
it.
paywall.
There isn't. It's actually free
Oh.
right now, you know?
One weekend only Black Friday sale.
Black Friday sale. Come watch Zack Mo take off a belt. That's it. That's the whole page. The rest of it's just me crying and drinking beer. Good times.
So it sounds like the weekend was good. How was your weekend collecting?
Weekend collecting. Yes, the weekend was good. What did I bought? What did I buy this weekend? I bought Rick a pack because it was his birthday. Shout
Oh
out
yeah,
Rick,
yeah, yeah,
happy
you did.
birthday.
Shout out. Happy well, I said happy birthday, so not happy belated, but happy birthday last week, Rick,
He
Rainey.
was born on
Who else?
November 16th, the same day
Yes.
that my father passed.
Yes. I
And
remember
George
this
got
detail.
married on the same day that my father passed. So now I'm giving everybody shit. It's hilarious, and I think it's
Perfect.
fun as fuck. If you don't know me already, I have a dark sense of humor, so I find that funny. So I bought Rick a pack of 151 for his birthday. He didn't pull shit out of that, so that was that weekend collecting. The week before, I bought some Surging Sparks,
Yep.
and I don't think I pulled anything.
Nothing, no like alt arts, but you pulled a couple full arts. You told me.
Oh, that's right. It was an ETB that was sent home. I did open it.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that on podcast, right? Should I
We
keep
did,
it
we
sealed?
did.
Blah 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 blah. Yeah, you ripped
Right.
it. Got it.
The minute I got it, I ripped it. I said,
Yeah.
"Fuck that." I got the Check Tuesday card. Uh,
Check Tuesday. Tuesday.
I got. I don't know what the hell is in this little baggie. The Lycia's Appeal full art, not the
That I think
display
that's
art.
like worth some money.
I think it was worth like very little. I looked it
Yeah,
up.
but the whole set is going insane.
Check it for me.
I'm checking it right now. What's the number on it? Maybe not.
Uh,
Looks like it's $5.
yeah, $5. I'm not going to sleeve it. Check Tuesday.
637 market price.
Alolan Executor EX, Durant EX, Kecleon Art Rare, and that seems to be it. Yeah, that's it. The Kecleon Art Rare is nice.
Super dope artwork. $5 as well.
Cool. I got
I
10
like
bucks.
the Kecleon common like a lot from
I
Surging
don't know if I've
Sparks.
seen it.
That's really good.
I'll have
It's
to look
a
at it.
Conda art. I believe Conda did it. I can actually look right now. It looks very reminiscent of like the Conda styling.
Conda?
Yeah, Shinji Kondo.
Conda?
Kondo.
Wakanda Forever?
Shinji, the one who does I think Giratina as well. The Giratina alt.
What's Giratina?
What's a Giratina? All right.
Yeah, that's what I said, isn't it?
Well, I'm unprepared to talk about Giratina, but I am prepared to talk about a different Pokemon.
Well,
Should we save that?
before we jump into your
My
different
musings.
Pokemon, your musings. Did you pick a good one this week?
Oh no, it's a different illustrator. My wife asked me to do a Pokemon, so I have no choice other
Oh,
than to.
shout out wife. She
Mrs.
listened.
Collector, shout out.
Mrs.
She wasn't on the
Collector.
list, but she is a listener. One of my
I
buddies
know
started listening,
you have
and
friends.
I have quite a few.
Oh,
Yeah, he shout out Kevin when you catch this episode. I want to have him on
hi,
one time.
Kevin.
I
What's that from?
mean, it makes me think of Home Alone, but it might not be
SpongeBob.
from Home Alone. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have known.
Don't you have kids?
Yeah, we don't watch SpongeBob. SpongeBob is
Why not?
extremely inappropriate for
Yeah, I
5-year-old
know.
children. That's why
I
we
know.
don't watch it. We watch
Why?
Power Rangers, which is also not the most appropriate, but it's got far less innuendo than SpongeBob did.
Why I don't have kids?
And yeah, we watch Power Rangers, and that's pretty much what I watch with my kids.
Shout out SpongeBob and Tom Kenny. He told me he listens, so I got to give him a shout out, Tom Kenny.
Why did I bring that? Oh, he said he likes you because you like wrestling. You seem like a cool guy.
Well, is he wrong? Don't comment below that he's wrong. I know
10
the first
comments.
one, First
10
one's gonna
comments below that
be
he's wrong, and Zack Mo's
fir
giving away a pop.
no. I love my pops, I'm not doing that. If it was something I didn't love, I would do it. I know the first one's gonna be Charlie, because he just loves to shit on me on YouTube. He goes first, and then he goes team whatever the hell Collector chose.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Shout out Charlie again this week. He gets shouted out a lot. You want to tell me how the market's doing?
I can tell you about the market. The market is insanity at the moment.
Insane in the membrane.
Crazier than it's been since we started this podcast. It is currently, today is Tuesday, November 19th, and I have not seen the Pokemon market this hot since pretty much the COVID-19 pandemic, since the Pauls took over the internet buying crazy vintage boxes, and it was product was being scalped at an uncontrollable pace, and this is a very, very, very hot time for Pokemon. I've always said, like, on the podcast, I've consistently said, like, Pokemon go up, make sure you hold, the product you like, but this is a pretty incredible time to be a part of the Pokemon industry. It's finally, boxes are finally selling for MSRP, which is, a lot of people hate it, what's happening right now. But I'm glad for, like, small business owners, local game stores, finally able to make a little bit of money on the product.
Mhm.
It's strange how the hive mindset thinks like it's almost evil or taboo to charge MSRP or above MSRP for an item when that's what the Pokemon company charges and they sell out on their website. So, like, I don't know, it's a very strange thing. But anyway, the market's absolutely on fire. Everything's going up. I mean, there's nothing that's like taking a dump. Everything's either flat or going up.
That's debatable. I
Go
went about
ahead.
20 minutes ago.
Got it. Yeah, basically the whole market. Surging Sparks released November 8th. We didn't do an episode that week. Or the week, the release week. We had already been ripping Surging Sparks early, but we didn't do an episode of the podcast. And since release, the product has just gone absolutely berserk. I mean,
What's the
literally,
Pikachu sitting at? I'll look it up.
Pikachu
You
went
keep
down a little
talking.
bit, like 430 last I
Oh,
looked.
that's still pretty fucking pricey.
It's insane for a brand new card and brand new
I
set.
see it at 468.52, but
Yeah,
it is
so
down $35.
yeah, okay, so right around 450, let's call it, right.
Okay.
Um, the cards fluctuate quite a bit. You'll have cards like hit a super high and then come down and drop a lot. What's crazy to me is the sealed with Surging Sparks. Sealed booster boxes a week or 10 days after release, eclipsing $1,000, or sorry, sealed booster box cases eclipsing $1,000 a case is the craziest I've seen the market since Vivid Voltage did this when COVID had happened and nobody could find Vivid Voltage.
Well, I see currently on the Collector app, and I know they pull from eBay last sold listings. The booster boxes, they have it averaged at 202.
That's a single booster box, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So cases are fetching over $1,000,
Right. That makes sense. That adds up.
which is it's crazy. I mean, it's
That is.
wild for the market to have become that hot that quick on that product. So I don't know. It's insane. It's not just Surging Sparks that's going up. Everything pretty much is going up. 151 is still going up. Even older, less desired stuff is
Oof.
going up. What'd you
Oh
find?
man. Oh man. So before we started recording, I was telling Collector here that I had sold my Japanese Pikachu SAR from, what is it? Breaker Box,
Super electric breaker
Super Electric Breaker Box.
or
Um,
supercharged breaker. It's the Japanese equivalent of the Pikachu half of Surging Sparks.
so I sold it buck 30, buck 40. At that time, that was market. So I was happy to sell it. I needed the money. On Collector app, it is now sitting at 334.
334 is a little high. I just checked market before this, but it's 280, 300. It's pretty up there.
Coming for you, Adam.
It's definitely up there. I mean, the card went crazy. It went crazy by proxy, but what you'll
Right.
see is the Japanese market will decline as the English market settles a little bit. So the English market's at 430. If the Japanese one's at 330, the English is at 430, people are going to buy the English.
Mhm.
Right now, the English market is just way stronger than the Japanese market. So,
Yeah, but I could have
like,
made 200 extra bucks today.
no, not really. If you needed the 130 back then you probably couldn't have made it till today without it, kind of deal, right?
Could have made my fans only pricier.
Yeah, well, that's a totally different story, right? The
Well,
opportunity
Adam
cost is
wouldn't
different.
subscribe. He said the only thing he wants is the Pikachu.
Well, it's because the Pikachu's looking back at you, nice and thick with it. A lot of people like that card. I don't necessarily think it's great artwork. I like that it kind of tells a story. I like
I hate it.
I think it leaves a lot to be desired. There's a lot of empty space on the card, which I'm not like a huge fan of. I think in some cases it's fine. I don't know. Not a huge
I'm not
fan
a
of the
fan
artwork,
of
but
so the artwork. So, if you're unfamiliar with Scarlet and Violet, that like sombrero looking shit is the Stellar Terra type. They just introduced that in the second DLC of Scarlet and Violet. So like all the other ones we've seen had like lightning, electric Terra types, water, fire, etc. That one's stellar and like it does like something crazy like to one specific move that can really boost it. So that's what it looks like that, the
right.
sombrero. I hate it. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean,
we've already gone over how much I hate graphic wise.
ignoring the Terra type, I think they probably could have done a little bit more with the card. But people really like the card. I'm not saying it's bad artwork. It's just not something that like I have this Pikachu. I would buy a gazillion of these over that Pikachu. Sorry, it's gonna be really hard to see because I have a camera right on my or a light right on the camera.
What's it doing?
What is it doing? It's just like in a field. Or the light. The light was reflecting
No,
off the
no, I meant the
slab.
Pikachu. I meant the Pikachu.
The Pikachu's just like hopping in a field, but it's great artwork. It's got
It's
Sprigatito
cute.
in the background. It's a super cute card. It's for this
It's
promo from
bold.
the.
See, the thing about that is it's bold. Pikachu
This is.
stands out
Mm-hmm. It's
on
cool. It's just an
on
art rare, like
the
art rare
SIR now
style.
though. The SIR now though, it blends
Muddy.
in too much to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. The English is better than the Japanese. The English one in person is not quite as muddy. The Pikachu, there's definitely more separation between the Pikachu and the background. The Japanese one was extremely muddy, in my opinion. It was very, very flat. It was one of the worst Japanese SIRs I've seen in person, in my opinion. But anyway, doesn't really matter what I think because the market says otherwise. The PSA 10 copy, the first PSA 10 copy of that card to market sold for over $3,000. It's still consistently selling for over $2,000 in a PSA 10. It's going to settle at some point, but it's absolutely hype right now. And it's not just, one card, one set, like everything is performing real well. Very, very strong sales on a lot of items. Magikarp PSA 10 still doing well. Umbreon VMAX, the Moon Kitties, going back up to all-time highs. And it's also not just the Pokemon market that's performing well. So sports cards are on fire at the moment. The whole entire sports card market is booming. And interestingly enough, alternative investments are hitting daily all-time highs. So cryptocurrencies are literally hitting daily all-time highs. We saw this last time the last time the crypto market had a bull run, which is when the crypto market's performing well and people are pouring money into the market and taking money back out of the market while taking profits. Last time the crypto market did that, we saw a big boom in the Pokemon market, and we're seeing the same thing right now. People are taking all this money out of the crypto market, and I'm not anybody's tax advisor, but a lot of them are doing it like, a little nefariously in ways that they're not necessarily paying taxes on their crypto. And there's really not too many ways that you can hide that kind of money aside from alternative investments such as gold, silver, Pokemon, um, and sports cards, any collectible really would be considered an alternative investment. Some people buy coins. There's other things, right? But like Pokemon's getting their piece of the pie for sure. There's a ton of money coming into the Pokemon world right now from investors who are parking money into sealed Pokemon product and Pokemon cards, Pokemon slabs, etc., etc. So, as I've been saying, market go up. Mark my words. For all you non-believers out there, Stellar Crown, Temporal Forces, Paradox Rift, all going up. You already missed the initial opportunity for Temporal and Paradox that I suggested months ago.
Well, Stellar's still fairly
You got a week tops, I bet.
before it like starts to really pick up price.
I bet you it's already going up right now. Like as we're talking, I can pull up the market. In fact, I would bet that the Stellar Crown pricing is starting to go up. What happens is people are trying to find surging sparks to park money in, and they can't find any surging sparks. I don't even know why they're trying to find surging sparks to park money in. They already missed the boat on surging sparks, but whatever. People are trying to find surging sparks. And the price already went up $15 today, actually. Literally today. You can pull up the graph on it. Yesterday market price was 107. In the last 2 days. Yesterday market was 107.90 and today market's 115. Market was a 106 on October 26th. Market was down to its all-time low October 6th, which was a month ago at 104. Today it's at 115. Listed median pricing is 132, which means within 2 or 3 days it'll be up to $130.
That's for a booster box.
That's for one booster box of Stellar Crown. Yep.
Gotcha.
So I can't. I mean, I'll say it. I could say it till I'm blue in the face. There's really, I don't want to do too much more hounding on it, but buy when no one wants it. Buy it when nobody's looking. That's the best time to buy. The best possible time to buy Stellar Crown was the week before Surging Sparks was available for pre-orders, where like Surging Sparks was like starting to take off. When everybody started talking about Surging Sparks. It's not advice. I'm just telling you, like, from a financial perspective.
My advice is buy everything really high right now and then wait till it settles and then sell it.
Buy high, sell low with Zack Mo.
Always.
That's our sister podcast. Today's podcast is brought to you by Zack Mo's sister podcast, Buy High, Sell Low.
And that means I go out and buy things when I'm high, and then I sell really things cheap when my blood sugar goes low.
Exactly, you know what's funny, dude? And this is really probably not very funny to you, but the last like 2 major sales you've made, you bought high and sold low on.
What do you mean?
Your 151 master set and your Pikachu.
All right, well, the 151 master set was your fault.
That was not my fault at all.
It was your fault. And the Pikachu, I'm going to blame Adam.
All right, well, sounds like you need to learn how to take responsibility for your actions.
I already said I needed the money and it's okay. I understand. I just like complaining. I'm Jewish. It's what I do.
Whoa.
I'm allowed to say it.
I guess you are. Point being, buy when nobody's watching. If you're an investor, if you're not an investor, do whatever the fuck you want.
If nobody's watching, advice, just take it.
If you're not looking to make money in this hobby and you're looking at it as a hobby, disregard everything I'm saying right now. I'm not suggesting that you rip Stellar Crown because Surging Sparks is popular. If your goal is to park money in sealed Pokemon product, the best time to do it is when it's very, very cheap. One last example. I literally feel like I say the exact same thing every week. Battle styles. How do you, as an average collector and not an investor in large amounts of sealed product, how do you feel about battle styles and Sword and Shield?
I started collecting after that, so I have no opinion.
Did you ever go back and buy battle styles?
No.
Would you go back and buy battle styles from what you've seen?
I don't know. I got to look at it.
Okay. So not the perfect person to ask the question to. Battle Styles was known as like the worst set in the Sword and Shield era for a very long time. And Battle Styles could not eclipse $89 a box for years. And it's currently selling for over $850 a case.
Shrouded Fables.
Shrouded Fable, 5 years from now, will be worth money. Yes.
I
wouldn't park money in Shrouded Fable right now, personally.
I'd park my truck there.
Well, you're going to buy high, sell low. It's not low enough yet. No one has clearance. Next year, Black Friday. Shrouded Fable.
Okay. That's gonna be the same episode that Dan Marino's on, right?
Yeah, 600 and something, right?
Yeah.
Or was it 60 something that I said? If it was 60
60
something, I'm
something.
gonna have to start booking that.
60 something.
Yeah, I gotta start booking that. I said I think early when Shrouded Fable came out that it would be this year's Black Friday special. I was incorrect. That was wrong. There are good Black Friday sales that I've seen. I wouldn't be surprised if some smaller shops are clearancing out Shrouded Fable, like local game stores and stuff. But like the big box retailers, I was expecting to see Shrouded. It's just not old enough for them to do that yet. They have time to wait on that money.
Mhm.
They're clearancing very strange things out. I thought it was very, very weird to see like Target's Black Friday sales crazy. I don't know what's going on with that. I think they're getting like very little inventory, but who knows? It's a fantastic sale. If you can walk into a Target on the 21st or after that and find their Pokemon ETB sale, by the limit that they set. By
What is the sale? You keep
It's
saying
like
it, but you're not telling me.
$20 in ETB. It was all over the Discord. Sorry, I thought you knew that. So they're
I
doing
don't pay
$20.
attention to people.
Target has 3 different sets on sale. I believe it's Brilliant, Astral, and Lost. Brilliant, Astral, Lost, ETBs for $20 a piece, which
Those have
is
good cards in them.
those are great sets. They're Sword and Shield sets. Astral's the weakest of the 3, but I mean, at $20 a piece, you could buy Shrouded Fable and you'd be making money if you're a sealed investor. I mean, you could buy the worst set ever, Rebel Clash. Rebel Clash ETBs are also an exception. That was one of the worst sets of all time, and those ETBs are $100 plus 130, 160.
It's craziness.
Pokemon go up, man. I say it all the freaking time. Buy when no one's watching. Buy the boring stuff. Don't chase after hype. I see people constantly trying to get like the stuff once it's crazy expensive. That's when everybody wants it, and it just doesn't. That's not the way to be profitable as an investor. It's like waiting for a stock to explode and then buying in at the top.
But if you're not an investor, just have fun.
Yeah, right. I agreed. If you're not an investor, pay attention to the singles market. That matters for your trades, right? For
So you can use for that. There's Tinder. There's Bumble. There's Grinder for those who prefer Grinder.
Zack Mo Martin.
No, no. Zack Mo brother Martin.
All right. Well, I think that just about covers the market. Diamond hands on Pokemon. That's it.
That's
If
it.
I could, if I had yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to sell stuff because the market's moving so fast. I like don't want to sell anything.
Makes sense. So I got a couple of telegrams.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
It's unique technology.
it is. I got some telegrams. Some
You have a
people
telegram
wanted,
machine? What's a telegram, bro? How does a telegram work?
I don't know, some Paul Revere looking motherfucker showed up at my door on a horse.
That's a telegram?
I think so. I'm pretty sure. Is that not a telegram? I have a telegram for you. Yeah, it's older than letters. He's looking it up now
I am.
just to make sure.
Sent by a telegraph or wire to a distant recipient. It was a written message sent by an electrical telegraph or wire to a distant recipient.
Right. And then somebody at the telegram office would write it down and bring it to you.
First one was sent from Washington to Baltimore in 1844 by Samuel Morse. I thought they were sent in Morse code.
That makes sense. Okay, well, somebody's sending me some Morse code telegrams. I don't speak Morse code, so some dude on a horse showed up and told me what it said. And they wanted to know what Pokemon you chose for our highlight this week.
Well, shout out Mrs. Collector, wifey Collector. She said, I don't know what brought this on, but she said that she thought I should do Mr. Mime as our Pokemon of the week because he
She
is
looked
a
at you and immediately thought Mr. Mime. I'm just
maybe.
saying that's how your wife sees you.
She said, Mr. Mime, that's a creepy motherfucker. So I didn't ask for a creepy Pokemon. I went out just a little while ago and
You came back, and then she first thought in her head,
I
you
said,
said, you came
she's like,
home and
you're
said,
trying
"Hey,
not to
babe."
fall asleep. She's like, you're trying not to fall asleep. I said, no, I'm not. I'm trying to think of what Pokemon to do for the weekly highlight. And then her immediate answer was, you should do Mr. Mime. That's a creepy motherfucker. I don't disagree. So let's get right into it. Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime first appeared under the control of Sabrina as an antagonist. Um, and Team Rocket in the past has used Mr. Mime to create an invisible wall to surround Saffron City. Mr. Mime appeared in the episode as Mr. Mime Time. Ash, Brock, and Misty encounter a runaway Mr. Mime, and Ash disguises himself as a Mr. Mime to lure the Pokemon back to its trainer. More about that later. Circling back to Ash and Mr. Mime. So he's psychic type. He has really good HP, speed, special stats, but like pretty average attack and defense stats.
I have a question.
Sure.
Now, his name is Mr. Mime.
Yes.
Are they only male in the game?
So the game, it's a very interesting thing that happened in the game versus in later generations. There's a lot of weird conspiracy theories surrounding Mr. Mime.
Okay,
In
I guess you're going to get into that.
Yeah, kind of. Not the like whether it can be male or female. I didn't actually look that up. I can look it up, but there was only one, so it was certainly male in Gen 1.
Right.
There was only one Mr. Mime you could get when you were doing a playthrough of Red, Blue, or Yellow. It can be obtained through one trade.
I remember that trade.
You had to go to the building that was south of Diglett's Cave on Route 2, and you trade an Abra or a Clefairy for Mr. Mime, which meant that was the only Mr. Mime in that Pokeverse, right? In that particular Pokeverse.
That kid, whoever you trade with, named it so fucking stupid. I don't remember what it was, but it was stupid.
I don't remember the name either. But that has kind of spawned a lot of crazy fan conspiracy theories, the most notable of which is that Mr. Mime is actually Ash's father.
That's my favorite one.
There's a Mr. Mime around, always helping Ash's mom around the house. And
helping.
Right. There's a lot of people who kind of subscribe to this conspiracy theory about Mr. Mime being Ash's father. One of my favorite fun facts about Mr. Mime is that he's not actually wearing any clothing. That's just what he looks like. Pokemon don't wear clothes, right? So if you look at Mr. Mime, you would assume he's like wearing a mime costume, but that's just how his weird deformed body looks. This is like a known thing about Mr. Mime. I guess it's been confirmed that Mr. Mime's not wearing any clothes. That's just how he's shaped. Which is even weirder thinking about the Detective Pikachu movie, his appearance in Detective Pikachu.
How does it go to the bathroom? It's got some. All right, so I'm looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm assuming, because of what you just said, that everything that I'm looking at is its body shape.
Yep, that's correct.
It's got some dumb fucking toes.
Yeah, it's got some crazy curled up toes that look like shoes. Very, 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 very odd Pokemon.
I don't like it.
Yeah. So there's a few other conspiracy theories. The main conspiracy theory, or the one that is kind of like most widely talked about, is that Mr. Mime is Ash's
Papa.
dad. Yeah, he's his dad. But another one is that Mr. Mime started as a human that was miming a Pokemon and then actually altered reality within the Pokemon universe. So like we said, you can only get Pokemon in red or you can only get Mr. Mime in red and blue by trading. So there's only one Mr. Mime within those games. So the theory is that he started as a human miming a Pokemon, and if Mr. Mime actually altered reality by being so good at miming a Pokemon, that it actually it could actually like change the future reality of Pokemon and future generation, and then it becomes a true Pokemon, fooling everybody, most importantly fooling you. And the evidence for this is that in the Dex entry in Pokemon Yellow, it says Mr. Mime always practices its pantomime act. It makes enemies believe something exists that really doesn't. And then later in Ruby and Sapphire, it says Mr. Mime is a master of pantomime. Its gestures and motions convince watchers that something unseeable actually exists. Once it is believed, it will exist as if it were a real thing. Hence the gate around Saffron City. Even though Mr. Mime was just pantomiming it, he did such a good job that people believed it was there, and then even though it didn't exist, it acted as if it did exist. So it kind of goes into this whole crazy long conspiracy theory where Mr. Mime used to be a human being and mimed his way into becoming an actual Pokemon, which also links with the theory of Mr. Mime being Ash's father.
Ah.
Very, very, very strange theory. I don't know about whether or not there can be female forms of Mr. Mime. I don't. Yeah, it looks like you can get a female Mr. Mime.
Well, then that just doesn't make sense.
So in Pokemon Go, there's a male Mr. Mime and a female. The female is Jinx. You can only get a female Jinx. But when you're shiny hunting, I guess you can get a female Mr. Mime.
Stupid.
I'll have to look more into that. I'll follow up on that in the future. One last conspiracy theory about Mr. Mime. This one is not spurred by crazy internet Reddit theories. This is something that I've said for a very long time. My thought process has always been that Mr. Mime is the illegitimate love child of Professor Oak and Jinx. I've always said that. I think that that's how Mr. Mime could come into existence, would be Jinx and Professor Oak.
Where the
Bumping
fuck
uglies.
did you come up with that one?
I don't really know what originally came. It was like on stream one night, probably like degenerately at 3:30 in the morning after ripping for 6 hours straight. I like pulled a weird looking Mr. Mime card. And that's been my theory ever since. Jinx is mother to Mr. Mime. Jinx and
This is coming from the
Jinx and
same
Oak.
kid who blew up his sister's Barbies, so that makes sense.
I mean, in theory, whoa, my headphones just did like a crazy noise. In theory, the alternate is that Jinx could be the illegitimate love child of Ash's mom and Mr. Mime. And therefore, Jinx is Ash's sister.
People are going to listen to this and follow that, so I suggest you stop saying it.
I mean, Jinx is Ash's sister. That's all I'm going to say. We can move on, though.
That's terrible. Terrible. That was fun. Your wife thinks you're a creepy fuck. That's all. That was my
she
takeaway.
married me.
That's my takeaway. New segment brought to you by Diet Coke.
No.
Sponsor me, Diet Coke. Sponsor me.
Shout out Liquid Death.
Shout out
Please
Diet
sponsor
Coke.
me.
Coca-Cola. I'm just gonna give a quick 1 minute update on Pocket for those who care. The Lapras event is over. So if you didn't get your Lapras EX promo, you're gonna have to wait for trading to be available, or you're done. I know a lot of people were chasing that Butterfree and didn't get it. I have a shit ton. I'll trade you. I saw that there was leaks that the next event starting November 29th to December 6th is going to be a Venusaur EX event.
Lame.
Where you can possibly get a Venusaur alt art, which looked pretty cool if the leak was correct. It looked pretty nice. There's an event for battling other players. That is still
currently going on. The ladder.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's still going on. I whooped everybody's ass. I finished that one. I built some really nice decks. We should battle again.
Yeah, we can battle.
Yeah, you're gonna lose again. It's 3-1, by the way. You beat me once. I beat you 3 times. That is my Pocket
deck, you mean?
Yeah.
My unestablished deck that I literally said, hey, can someone help me balance this deck, please?
And then you switched it to a balanced deck and you still lost.
Yeah, but we lost. Dude, I lost on coin flips and you admitted that. There was no shot. It was coin flip only. Coin flips and
but you still lost.
Right. So you beat me once. I'll give you that. And I beat you once.
I beat you 3 times. I beat you 3 times.
The other 2 don't count.
The other 2 count.
It's fine.
Rydell, you've been
playing
paying
your
attention.
Stupid Pikachu EX deck.
I haven't been. I made a Moltres Charizard deck. I made a Venusaur deck.
Is The one that I showed you how to use, the Moltres Charizard ramp.
No, you didn't show me how to use it.
Right.
You
Okay.
beat me with it. Um, that's my pocket update.
Pokemon Pocket's been a blast for me. I really have been super tight on time, so I haven't played very much. But what I'm going to try to do is play in the Discord every once in a while. I did it once. I think you weren't around that night. I don't remember why you weren't available, but basically what I've figured out how to do is like stream my phone to, I have a Samsung laptop, so I can screen share to my laptop from my phone, and I can use my mic, mouse, and key to play Pocket while streaming it live to Discord.
Who wanted to watch that?
A few different people. There's like 4 people. I battled Justin live. It was fun.
Sounds boring.
It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Actually, everybody said, wow, this really helps because when you're talking through the decisions that you're making, it helps me understand how to play the game.
Yeah, well, I can live stream on TikTok while showing my screen and talking. So maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah, or we could just both live stream on Discord and like while battling each other.
But I can't live stream on Discord.
It will be live streamed through my phone. We'll be battling.
Oh yeah, touche.
And you can use voice too.
Well,
like simultaneously you'll be able to use voice. The only issue is, and I just have to trust that Justin wasn't screening, you're going to see my hand, right? I'm not going to see yours because I'm the one streaming to Discord. But if you're watching Discord while looking at your phone, you're going to just see what's in my hand.
Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a moron. And I was thinking, how the hell am I going to see your hand?
No, in the game.
Yes, I got it.
Yeah. All right, Bob.
I'm a moron sometimes.
All right, Bob.
All right. What do you you got any cool grading stories or something about grading you want to tell me about?
Yeah. So let's talk about grading a little bit. We're really killing the transitions tonight. These headphones are driving me insane, bro. Hold on.
Must suck to suck.
They're just popping so much. You can't hear it, right?
No.
All right. Well, they're just popping like nonstop.
If
so
you're
yeah,
on Spotify, you can't see me popping my ass. Go ahead.
A few different people have asked me about grading, specifically to talk about it on the podcast. Notably, I think the most recent person who asked was Colossi, but a few people have asked about learning about, grading, I guess. I don't know specifically what. So what I'm hoping that we can do is, you can ask me some questions about grading, maybe things that you don't know about grading. I'll talk about, I'll give a basic rundown first of kind of the virtues of grading, the idea, the concept behind grading. And then you can maybe ask me some questions that are things that would be of interest to you as someone who doesn't know quite as much about it.
I do have one question off the bat.
Sure.
Why did PSA grade that Charizard a 7 when you told me it was 10?
That particular Charizard had a layer of ink missing on the back of it, which I didn't catch. So it got a 7.
Maybe somebody should get glasses.
I am wrong probably about 30% of the time is usually what I tell people when I'm grading. I'm not a professional grader. I just do pre-grading for people. I'd say 70% 10 rate, and that's pretty incredible comparatively to most. But this is not about me. This is about the virtues of grading, why to grade, how to grade, all that stuff.
One more question, a serious question. Is Vanis your friend Kevin? Discord?
I think so.
Shout out Vanis. I just went on Discord real quick and he said how much he likes me. Because I like Star Wars and
what is it is it in the collective or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
3
Kevin.
episodes in. Big fan.
Let me look. I'll know as soon as I see
that you like Star Wars and wrestling.
Shout yeah, that's definitely Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Kevin's the man. You and Kevin we would have to edit the podcast if we brought him on and the two of you were here. We would have a very good time.
Sounds like the people want to hear it.
I will remind me after the podcast. I'll tell you some Kevin stories. But I actually I would love to bring Kevin on. I almost messaged him that earlier tonight, but we'll
sorry to go off. Go ahead. Grading.
No, it's all good.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, so people have asked about grading. How does grading work? What is grading about? Blah 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 blah. Um, so card grading, it has been around for, I don't know, quite some time, 20, 30, 40 years, maybe longer. Basically, there's third-party companies. The three most notable companies are PSA, Professional Sports Authenticators, CGC, Comic Grader Company or something like that. I forget exactly what CGC stands for. And then Beckett, BGC, Beckett Grading Company. Um, those are the three, main graders. Beckett has recently gotten into like a pretty big pile of shit. Um, they are their founder, like their like silent financial founder partner guy, the guy who doesn't really have much to do with the company, but he's like the money behind the company, is like going to prison for some crazy scam that he was running. Um, so yeah, Beckett's not in great shape at the moment. CGC kind of screwed the pooch pretty heavily about a year ago when they transitioned the way they were doing grading. Everybody was like, that doesn't really make sense. You've been kind of lying about how you were doing grading in the past. We don't really like this. So CGC, while still relatively popular, has definitely lost a lot of momentum recently. And then PSA in America is pretty much the king. There are a few other grading companies that are lesser known, but kind of up and coming. You have companies like SGC. They're an alternative grading company for Pokemon, mainly sports. SGC is known for. Um, and then you have AGS. AGS is kind
Is
of
that your favorite?
AGS.
Yes.
No, not my favorite. AGS is a company that claims that they use artificial intelligence to grade cards. It is my opinion that artificial intelligence is false advertising. It's literally just a scan. There's no artificial intelligence being used. There's a lot of intelligence, like computerized intelligence, being used to grade the cards. It's not being done by a person staring at the card. And I think that that's fantastic, but it's certainly not being done by artificial intelligence either. Um, and AGS has had some ups and downs over the last few years. Their value certainly does not hold the same way PSA would. And then the newest grading company to hit the scene is Tag, TAG. Their slabs are very cool looking. And Tag is one that kind of is like an up and comer that I'm going to keep my eye on. I haven't graded with Tag yet, although I would love to get a couple of their slabs in 10s, a few different cards that I have that are already graded PSA 10s. I may send over to Tag for cross grading just to have them slabbed up in a Tag slab because they look very, very, very cool. They have a like all what a PSA slab looks like. I showed the one earlier where they have that like red label with white and black text on the top, right? Yep. So for a Tag slab, that whole red label area is clear plastic with
Mhm.
white lettering etched into the plastic. So the whole entire thing is
I feel
transparent.
like
There's
that's
no
not gonna hold.
label.
I feel like that's not
It's
gonna hold over
look
time.
it looks incredible. They're fantastic. I'll pull up an image real quick of a Tag slab. Oh, whoops! I must have closed the other
Whoopsie
window.
daisy.
Whoopsie doopsie. Move tab to new window. Tag slab. Images. Illustrator Pikachu. Tag 10. Open image in new tab. All right. Sorry for the minor delay, especially to those of you who are just listening on Spotify. However, I am just about ready to share this image. So if you're listening on Spotify, unfortunately, what? What did I do?
You have to Google it yourself.
Yeah, you're gonna have to Google it yourself. I can't do it. Share. Oh, I hit cancel. There we go. So that's a Tag slab. That's the Japanese Illustrator Pikachu, one of like the most, expensive Pokemon cards in history.
That is
But
a pretty cool looking.
the slab looks incredible, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Right? Like obviously, this is just personal preference. Not everybody will love the way this looks, but I personally am a huge fan of what they have done here with the QR code, with the way that it's etched into the slab. And then they also have they also do grading in a computerized way where the card's scanned into the computer and graded based on a 10-point scale in several different categories. But what they do that's unique as well, I'm going to take the picture off the screen. What they do that's unique as well is that they rank the cards against one another for strength of 10. For example, if there are 20 different Illustrator Pikachu tag 10s, one of them will be ranked the number 110 out of all 20 10s based on their specific scale. So the slab will just say 10, right? But the overall score of that 10 might be 974, it might be 980, it might be 999, right? I don't know anything that's gotten 1,000. I think 1,000 would be like a perfect score on a tag slab, but the the point is they rank even the individual slabs, and they also rank, or they also keep grading history, what order it was graded in. So this is the first Illustrator Pikachu that we graded a 10. This is the 50th Illustrator Pikachu that we graded a 10, et cetera, et cetera. So just a cool company to keep an eye on. I don't know that I'll be using them for bulk services or anything like that, but something
What's the price
new
difference?
and unique. For grading, it's not very much different at the moment than PSA for like bulk submissions.
Hmm.
The price that a tag slab commands is where the difference lies. At the moment,
Right.
the company is very new, so they're just grading very, very hyped up cards that are clearly valuable, right? When you're grading cards that are 50, 100, 200, 3, $500, you're not going to get the same return on your investment as you would with PSA if you're grading with a company that isn't PSA.
Right.
It's the slabs that are like, I'd say like minimum $1,000. That's where you're going to see value in companies like Beckett or in maybe even companies like Tag. But Tag's graded some huge cards. First edition Charizard, first edition Blastoise. We're talking cards that are selling for, you know, tens, if
Thousands.
not hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
So those are that's kind of the lane that they're currently in, just to promote and get the company off the ground, right? Like I'm very likely that Illustrator Pikachu was purchased as a PSA 10, cracked and graded in a Tag slab by the founders of Tag to advertise their company.
Right. Makes sense.
Those, it's not a card that just pops up out of nowhere and gets graded a 10. There's only a few of those, so I'm sure it was
I have
purchased
like
for.
three.
Yeah, well, then you've got several $1 million in Pokemon cards.
Yep.
Um,
And I'm using this
anyway,
blanket to keep the heat in.
use it as a blizzard. Oh God, stop popping headphones. Terrible. Okay, so that's the basics of the companies that you can grade with. What is grading? So you send a card to one of those companies that I mentioned, a regular Pokemon card, sports card, comic book, video game. Oh yeah, I guess I have to
Funko
mention
Pop.
Wada as well. Wada's a video game grading company. Funko Pops can be graded. Autographs can be authenticated. They can grade anything basically. Coins get graded constantly. A huge graded coin market.
Does
So
PSA
anyway,
grade Pokemon coins?
yeah, they grade Pokemon coins.
Do they grade green
You
ones?
absolute knob. Yeah, Justin has that. He bought that.
Oh, shout out Justin.
Shout out Justin. He bought the PSA 10
Shout out
Vileplume.
Justin. We're not doing
This is the
normal.
Chansey actually right here. It just happens to be sitting on my computer right now that came in the same collection. You can't really see it, but
Why? Because I can't see things.
no, because of the background. This came in the same collection that I got the Vileplume in. This one's not a 10 though. I knew immediately it was not a 10. Any Hoosers, you send the item off to PSA and they, or CGC or whoever, and they grade the card based on, generally speaking, 4 different categories. They're going to look at the condition of the edges of the card. So, the border that goes around the card, they're going to look at the edges. They're going to look at the surface of the card. Are there scratches? Are there dents? Are there dings? Are there folds? Are there creases? Is there ink missing? Is there ink added? Is there marker on the card? Is there,
A staple.
is the hollow, did it get stapled at one point? I sent it. Did I tell you about that Charizard
Yes.
that got
Yes.
stapled? That got a PSA 1. What has the card, like, has the ink like rubbed off over time, right? That's all stuff that they look for generally with Pokemon cards, especially modern stuff. Like, very few surface issues other than scratches and dents that from the card getting dropped or whatever. But cards that are 60 100 years old, like old sports cards, they have a lot more things that are analyzed with edges and surface. Then they look at corners, which, very nice. Thanks, bro. I knew you were doing that by finger number 2. They look at the corners. They look at the shape of the corners. Generally, are the corners like for a Pokemon card, for example, the corners are supposed to be nicely rounded. They're not supposed to have any sharpness to them at all. Well, yeah, they're supposed to be nicely rounded in comparison to like a Topps card, which is supposed to have a perfect 90-degree angle at the corner. I would sometimes, when like discussing a Pokemon card, when I'm pre-grading, I would say the corners are nice and sharp. But what I mean is that they're rounded really well. I describe them as sharp, meaning they were cut like really properly in the correct curvature that they're supposed to be cut in. And then the last thing of the four is centering. How well is this Pokeball on a Pokemon card centered in the card compared to the borders? How well is everything on the front of the card in the exact center that it's supposed to be compared to the borders? Oftentimes, cards will get cut incorrectly on the sheet because they're printed in giant sheets, and
I
it'll
have a
impact
question.
centering. Yeah, what's up?
Ooh, I have a question.
Yep,
Um, Now, is that a machine or a human that is cutting these things?
machine.
So your entire PSA gamble is gamble on a machine cutting it correctly. Meaning,
Mm,
meaning that your entire pull. So if I buy a pack of 151,
mm.
my entire pull is a gamble on if the machine cut it correctly, if I pull that Zard or not.
What it's actually is how early how early in the sheet your card came from.
So the earlier the better.
Much. Yeah. What happens is just over time, the tolerance of those machines is extremely high, but we're producing so many cards that after, let's say, a million cuts, at a half a millimeter over a million cards, by the very end, they're going to be very crooked,
Gotcha.
right? So early on in the sheet, everything's sharp. There's no need for adjusting. They center it really nicely. It's probably similar to a computer printer where it has guides on the interior that keep the roll straight. But eventually, the slightest little adjustment here, there, the wind blows in the factory, somebody knocks the machine with their elbow, whatever the case may be, the sheet goes crooked. The cuts start getting worse. Also, the blades that they use for the cutting can get dull over time. We saw that with a
Naturally.
set called Burning Shadows. That set had horrendous quality control. That set was super off center, and the corners and edges were terrible. My only assumption is that it came from them having really dull blades when they were cutting that set. We also saw that with actually like the first print run of Paldea Evolved had pretty atrocious quality control. But
Okay, so
anyway,
back to what you were saying.
Uh, so PSA will analyze your card, or CGC or Tag or any of these companies. They'll analyze your card based on those factors, and they'll score it on a 10-point scale. Each category will score on a 10-point scale, and that will then determine the overall grade of your card. Some companies like Beckett or I don't know who else does subgrades anymore. CGC stopped doing subgrades. Beckett will give you subgrades. They'll tell you the 4 category scores. But basically, they just print that information out on the slab once it's graded, and then they encapsulate it in surgical grade plastic, put their label in it, and send it back to you for a fee. They charge you to do this because the card value can increase dramatically when graded by a company that's reputable, such as PSA. You could take a card that was worth $200, get it graded into a PSA 10, and suddenly it's worth $1,000. Thus 5xing your money, probably closer to 4xing after considering how much you had to pay to have it graded, all the shipping, and then the fees when you sell it. But regardless, you're making money based on the service the PSA offers, and they charge you accordingly. They're taking their cut for analyzing your card and encapsulating it and having earned enough respect in the community of collectors to be reputable. Now, PSA is not perfect. There's a lot of human error that goes into it. Uh, a lot of uh, a lot of grading companies, all grading companies have human error unless they're very, very small companies. But PSA certainly is one of the largest. So as far as grading and investing goes, like grading for investments go, I'm pretty strong on grading. I really like it as a concept for investment. I am not someone who sells high-end slabs. A lot of people who are Pokemon merchants exclusively deal with high-end slabs. That's their entire inventory. So they'll either purchase very expensive cards and have them graded, or they'll purchase very expensive slabs and then resell them for a little bit higher. Most of those very expensive slabs and very expensive cards have a pretty volatile market that's influenced by a lot of external factors, which makes it very difficult in my experience to predict. And my hats go off to those people because it's a tremendous amount of work and knowledge to be able to know what to buy, how to buy it, when to buy it, right? Because you got to kind of time the market a little bit with those things.
Mhm.
So I am not into that as a means of earning capital in the Pokemon world. I am more of like a put it in a box and forget about it, and eventually it'll be worth more money kind of investor. Especially with my slabs, and I practice what I preach with slabs in that I collect what I like. I buy almost exclusively PSA 10 Gengar slabs, and the only other slabs I have are slabs that just have what I think is like really great artwork, like that Pikachu. I bought that because I think that's awesome Pikachu artwork, and my daughter would love it, so I bought it for my daughter, and it'll go into her collection. And maybe one day it'll be worth a ton of money, maybe not. Today it's worth less than $30, so or $35. So like, what do I care, right? Like, that's something that I'm willing to invest, in that slab. If I'm buying any slab for my kid, that price point is fine for me. And
Wow. I hope she listens to this episode when she's older and she knows that she's just worth $35 to you.
trust me, I spend significantly more than that on my child. You clearly do not have children.
Clearly, I'm keeping this blanket up so I keep the heat in.
Yeah, my 15-month-old I bought her a Loungefly wallet yesterday at GameStop because she would not stop screaming when we took the wallet away from her.
My dad would have just smacked me.
You can't do that in 2024, bro.
He still would have.
It was also a very cute Loungefly wallet that realistically my wife will end up using. It had all the evolutions on it. I was buying my wife the Loungefly backpack with Eevee and all the evolutions, and the wallet was next to it. I handed my wife the wallet. My wife somehow at some point gave the wallet to my youngest, and then she was like, "Rah!"
Maybe
So
she
I
was
was like,
trying to buy it while nobody was watching.
maybe, but I don't think Loungefly is really an investable. I could be wrong on that.
It could be.
I could be. But yeah, anyway, the point is a slab like this is 35 bucks, no big deal, right? As far as buying a slab goes. The reason why it's no big deal is that there are very few PSA graded 10 slabs that are going to be worth less than even the worst cards are worth about 20 bucks in a PSA 10. Because it costs money to grade the cards and people know that. So, I mean, you could maybe get a deal that's a little cheaper than that depending on where you're buying it from. These headphones are just driving me nuts right now. But basically 20-30 bucks for a PSA 10 is about as cheap as you're going to find it. It might be worth a little bit less, but not much. And generally speaking, they all go up given enough time. So there's like Gengar slabs that I have, for example, that I bought at 20-30 bucks, and they're now worth 60-80 bucks, right? That's fantastic. Had I bought 100 of them, I would have made a lot of money on that. But that's not really my goal with the Gengar stuff. I'm just kind of collecting what I like. So I think there's a lot of virtue to grading. I also think people can kind of go overboard with grading. And I also think some people are just too afraid to grade and make mistakes. And yeah, I think there's like a healthy balance to be met with how you grade your stuff. If you're
Most of the
interested in
people I
grading.
know that grade are doing it for collection wise, not necessarily investing. They just want the card that they like in a piece of plastic that says, "Hey, this card is very nice."
So while I wish that were the case for 90% of my grading clients, that's not always the case. Reason is, if it was strictly for collecting, it really wouldn't matter what the grade was. So
Well, okay, I
there's a
guess.
lot of in every aspect of this hobby, value is important. And, when you're spending money to have the card encapsulated in a PSA slab, there's an inherent desire for that slab to come back at the highest possible grade, unless, of course, you're aiming for a PSA 1, which is a weird niche thing that some people do. But inherently, people want their cards to grade well so that they hold more value, even if it's not to invest and make money, even if the value is just to get more cards in the future, if you decide to trade it or whatever the case may be. I think there's a lot of that value tied up in grading. And it's also like very spooky and taboo for people, which is strange because maybe not taboo, that might be the wrong word, but like people are like afraid to send cards to PSA. Like they don't know how to do it. It's very intimidating, probably is a better word. And while it is very time consuming, it's not really difficult, I don't think. If you have some patience and you are willing to pay attention to details, and
You can always do what I just do.
what, pay me to do it?
Yeah, just tell you to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That always works.
Yep, you can, right? And a lot of people do. A lot of people pay third parties to grade their cards. GameStop recently rolled out their grading, and GameStop has some kind of incredible deal with PSA that they're charging virtually nothing. I mean, it's an extremely low price to grade cards, $15 or something like that. And then the shipping is free if you're a pro member. I mean, is it 15? It's either $14.99 or $15.99. Whatever it is, it's very, very, very cheap to grade through GameStop. If you can grade like you can't go to the PSA website and grade a single card for that price on your own. It's twice that price to grade one card on the PSA website. So it's a very sweet cush deal that GameStop got, and I would encourage people, if you're grading like nonsense cards that are, $20, $30, like if that's what they're going to be worth in a PSA 10, you don't really particularly care. Or maybe if you're like the person like Zach was talking about, where you really just want it graded and you don't really care.
Well, when I said that, I didn't necessarily mean that they don't care if it's a 10 or not. They want it for their personal collection, but they want it at a 10, of course. But they're not looking to get a 10 to resell.
Right. I think if that's the case, if it doesn't really matter, like if it comes back a 9 and it's not really going to like mess up your finances, if it comes back a 9, I would say, 6 months from now, once GameStop has kind of tried out this theory long enough and we see some results, if they're performing well and not screwing up every order, as I'm sure there will be a lot of screw ups in the beginning, then I don't see why people wouldn't use that. I think, for grading more expensive cards, you'd either want to do it yourself or go through a trusted middleman. But there's a lot of human at GameStop that could really screw up the process. So whether it's damaging the cards, switching out the cards, which is very nefarious, but unfortunately something that I'm sure has already happened since they've introduced this. It's just something I would be very wary of. I would love to see what happens within the next 6 months at GameStop if this program continues for them, and if they can really like prove it out, then it could be very, very good for people.
Agreed.
I don't really know what else as far as like grading. Maybe grading.
I think you covered all the basics. Speaking of grading, I happen to have a PSA 9 Blood Moon Ursaluna for sale.
Yeah.
If anybody would like to pick that up. You can't see it on Spotify, but I'm showing it on camera.
Did you see the new Blood Moon Ursaluna?
No. Is it pretty? Oh, wait, I did. I don't know if I like it as much as you do.
I love that card. That's the best SIR in the new set, in my opinion. That card is so sick.
That's debatable.
It's so sick.
I also have a really cool PSA
would you look at that?
Mint 10. What?
Just market price on the Ursaluna going up.
Okay. I have a Gem Mint 10 while he's looking up things. Mandalorian Bounty Hunter card.
Didn't I give that to you as a gift?
I didn't say it was for sale. I was just saying I have it. Sheesh. It's in Japanese.
Vice Sports.
What?
That's the company that made them. Dude, I'm throwing these headphones out as soon as this episode's over.
I can't wait. I also have a really cool reverse Arcanine Gem Mint 10 from Pokemon. It says XY. Oh, Breakpoint. And there's only 3 of them that are Gem Mint 10s. This one is also not for sale because I bought it off of my friend. And then I have this really cool gifted Japanese
That is the dope slab.
It's a promo from 2001. It's Gem and 10. Some loser bought it for me because he had to. It's an e-reader card. Is that correct? This is an e-reader.
Yeah, that was from that series. I think that happens to be a web promo made to look like an e-reader.
I don't know. I'm just trying to be hip with the lingo.
So bottom left, it says web, right?
You think I could see that?
Wow, really? It's right in front of you.
It's tiny as hell. Hold on, let me take a picture and I'll zoom in.
It's either an E or the word web. I believe it's web.
Bottom left. Oh, it does say web.
Yeah, so that's a web promo. It looks very similar to an e-reader card. E-reader cards are called e-reader cards because they were used to play the actual game. Like you would use an actual e-reader on your Game Boy and swipe the card through that e-reader, and it would then load into your decks in the game or impact the game in other ways, right?
There's only 54 of these.
Yeah, it's a rare card.
That's pretty dope. I have one.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't have one? Everybody else, besides 54 people.
Graded a PSA 10 in the world.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a pretty dope slab.
And one of them is sitting in Queens.
That's right. There you go.
So I think that we covered everything on grading pretty well.
Yeah, I think so. I think you have no idea about card grading. You got to learn a little bit. If you have other questions about grading, feel free to ask. I'm always, I try to be an open book about grading, and my process is pretty simple with grading. I have like maybe supplies I could cover real quick, like before we move on. You want to get something like this. This is very difficult to see on the camera, but this is called a semi-rigid card holder. I use a company called Cardboard Gold. I use what's called the Card Saver 1. That's kind of the industry standard. That's what's recommended on PSA's website. It's also what I've bought in bulk many times. So I use those. I have no issues with them. Other things that you're going to need if you're going to be like practicing getting really good at grading, you're going to want really good lighting, very bright white lighting. I use a UV light at times, but PSA doesn't use a UV light when they grade. I like to use it to help me find things. I actually started using it after I made that mistake with your card, Zack Mo. It does help you see like various different errors on the card. And they sell like centering tools, like things that you can analyze how well a card's centered with. I don't use them, but in the beginning, they were probably pretty helpful. I also, in the very beginning, would use like a digital caliper to measure the borders of the card, but I can now pretty much see it. And I have like a big magnifying glass with a lit ring on it, and I like to use that as well. But other than that, it doesn't really take a whole lot to grade.
It's good. So let's go into our next segment, which is everybody's favorite, Pokemon
Oh,
rankings.
rankings.
Brought to you by Mucinex Sinus Max. If you got a cold and you're the best man at a wedding on Saturday, use Mucinex Sinus Max. It's good. So shout out to King J, Blanca
Ashley Blancato.
Blancado, thank you. Blancado 1021, Rye, DMD, Rye, Wolfpack, Ryan Martin, Minerva, Justin, and Deidre
Were these all the notifications that were going off?
That were all the notifications that were going off. I made sure that everybody got a chance to get in what they wanted to say. Shout out to everybody who gave us suggestions for the typing that we're going to do this week. And the winners this week are Rye and Wolfpack. We're going with Steel.
All right, cool. Did you like spin a wheel or you just picked?
I just picked.
Guys picking favorites.
No, well, there was 2 Steels. I could have went with Fire.
Could have went with Fire.
King J and Blancado.
This is a tie.
I could have went with Fighting. Could have went with Electric. Could have went with Dragon.
Look at this Dandy Furfrou. That's a pretty wild looking Pokemon, huh?
No comment.
All right. Well, I got Steel type. We're doing all evolution stages.
Yes.
All forms, all generations, Steel type. 15.
Nope. One at a time.
One at a time for 10.
Right.
15's later.
Right.
You know, by episode 100, I should have this down pat.
I highly doubt that, but go ahead.
First Pokemon is Varoom.
We didn't do Steel yet, did we? I don't think so.
I don't believe so either. I think we were messing around looking at Steel flying or
Oh,
something.
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I put that too low.
Hisuian Gudra.
Hmm.
Next up, we have Galarian Stunfisk.
I'm already hating this.
Now we have Forretress.
I'm already hating this.
Gigantamax Melmetal.
What?
Should I have done default form type? We can just say Melmetal.
Yeah, we're just going with Melmetal. Don't autocorrect that to mental. Go ahead.
All right, Cobalion. Oh, it's Iron Crown. Sorry. Iron Crown. I just looked at the picture and thought it was Cobalion, but it's Iron Crown. Stakataka!
This is terrible.
After Stakataka, we got King Gambit. Metang.
Metang, Yutang, Weetang, Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. And Klefki.
All right. Well, that sucked.
Sick. Well, all right. Before we do our list, because I have my list, I'm not going to edit my list, but let's see. There's only 65 possible steel types. So,
Lucario Steel.
Dude, I have steel selected.
Okay.
Lucario evidently has steel typing. What bangers could we have gotten? Lucario, Solgaleo,
Magneton,
Celesteela,
Sizor,
Magnezone. Sizor is a banger. Empoleon's decent.
Copperjaw,
Ugh,
Metagross.
not my favorite. Metagross dope.
I like elephants.
Iron Treads.
Archelodon,
You like the
Corviknight.
old Bridge Boy?
No, I don't. I'm just saying it's there.
Steelix, Dialga,
Durant.
Registeel, Bisharp, Skarmory. Pretty tough, bro. I mean, really nothing like crazy cool with steel typing.
All right, so blame Rydell and fucking Wolfpack.
I'm gonna blame Rick because
Okay,
Lucario's on the list. So
Rick,
this is
you
somehow Rick's
suck.
fault.
Your
All right,
birthday's over. You suck.
number 10.
Klefki.
Galarian Stunfisk. You saved 10 for last? Wow.
Yeah. Which
A
I'm not mad
ballsy-
at though, because Klefki's pretty shit.
Yeah, Klefki's lame. I don't disagree. I can like barely hear you with these headphones. I swear to God, I'm ready to throw them against the wall.
Number 9. I said number 9.
Now I actually couldn't hear you because I took them out. All right, number 9.
Varoom.
Varoom. We did one. We're twins.
Look at us.
Number 8. Forretress.
Galarian Stunfisk.
Number 7.
Fortress.
Gudra. Number 6.
Stakalaka. What?
Stakalakataka. We got
did
2.
We got 2. Number 5.
Klefki.
Melmetal.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
Number 4.
Number
Hisuian
4.
Gudra.
I have Metang. I literally can barely hear you. Sorry, hold on a second.
I said
Technical
Hisuian Gudra.
difficulties.
I'm sorry for everybody. I just yelled into the mic. So he's an idiot, huh? What is it? Yeah, I can't tell if he has it in or not. Nope. They're off his head. He looks like a moron. His rankings suck like they always do. He's fumbling around in a drawer. I don't know what he's getting. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why he's doing this since we're so close to the end of it. Couldn't just deal with it. Mr. Perfection over here. He put the headphones back on, but I don't know if he can hear me.
I can hear you, but the batteries are dead, and that's what's causing this, I think. I'm gonna have to go grab a battery. I'm sorry. Talk to the people for a moment.
No, that's what I have been doing. Talking to the people for a moment. Doesn't this guy suck? The worst. So how's everybody's week? Charlie, I don't care. You don't have to tell me. So I had some cool slabs I showed you guys, right? Yeah, you like slabs? I have some. I had a PSA 9 Blastoise, Venusaur, and Charizard from 151, but I sold those. I also had a PSA 7, but I cracked it because Mr. Collector over here fucked up. You know who's real mid? Marnie. What a mid trainer. Like, who even came up with that? She's like mid. And Gengar? Isn't that just the worst? I tell you. Okay, he's sitting back down. Looks like he's putting a battery in. I'm sure you guys are loving this play-by-play. I hear myself.
We back, baby.
Alrighty. So yeah, so I pretty much to sum up what I was saying is that I really like Collector, and he's a really cool dude.
I can't wait to listen to this part of the podcast.
All right. So number 4.
What number were we on? Number 4?
4, Hisui and Gudra.
Metang.
Because I like Gudra. So if it's
Gudra, like a lot of people like Gudra. I have a friend who I used to work with actually before I quit my job. His favorite Pokemon was Gudra.
There you go. Your friend sounds cool.
Also, isn't Gudra really, really, really strong in a lot of gameplay?
Yes. So number 3,
Melmetal.
King Gambit.
I like Melmetal.
Okay. That's fair. I'm not gonna chastise you or, what do you do for me? The word is escaping my head right now. What do you do to me every week?
You say gaslight, but
Gaslight,
that's not
thank
true.
you. Number 2,
Iron Crown.
same.
Wait, who's your number 1?
Who's your number 1?
King Gambit for me, for sure.
Oh, Metang.
Metang?
Only because it's so close to Metagross, so I figured I'd just throw it in 1 because I didn't know what the fuck was coming up.
All right.
Because if I didn't do that, I would have had Klefki at number 1, and I would have hated
well, that's really, really bad. King Gambit at number 3 is a respectable ranking. Like, you put King Gambit high.
Well, yeah, because King Gambit isn't terrible.
King Gambit's dope.
Right,
so here's my reasoning on King Gambit.
If we would have gotten Orthworm, it would have been 1 to 10 all Orthworm.
Orthworm. I really like King Gambit. I think King Gambit's a super cool Pokemon, and I like the whole line. Pawniard, Bisharp, and King Gambit.
Because of the chess pieces.
I'm a big chess fan. I watch a lot of chess content, and I play chess relatively frequently. And I just think it's such a cool, like, hidden mechanic that they've included in their character to make one pawn. No.
I just heard everybody listening say nerd at the exact same time.
Fuck you. I was like, turned up my volume and everything. I think it's a really cool mechanic. They have the pawn, the bishop, and the king. And not only is it the king, but it's King's Gambit, which is actually like a true chess opener. You can open, like, one of the ways to open a chess match is with a move called the King's Gambit, or with a series of moves called the King's Gambit. And the King Gambit illustration rare is still one of, like, my top 5 all-time illustration rares so far through Scarlet and Violet.
Not me, not Hermione, you.
Probably Speaking the most famous chess quote of all time.
All right, let's do 15.
Yeah.
But are we doing 15? Yeah, do 15 steel, and then we'll do 15 everybody.
All right, 15 steel, and we're supposed to recruit a battle party.
Orthworm, and Orthworm.
You can only take them once.
Wait, you didn't do fully evolved.
I mean, this is a pretty good list. Are you sure you want me to rerun it? I can rerun it if you want.
I mean, I think we should stick to,
All right, we'll stick to the format. 15 fully evolved steel types. All right, we got lucky again.
This is even better.
Yeah, we got lucky. Well, I think maybe because it's fully evolved. But okay, so for those of you that are just listening, the 15 Pokemon we have to choose from to recruit a battle party are Excadrill, Aggron, Aegislash, Steelix, Escavalier, Iron Crown, Bronzong, Orthworm, Kartana, Melmetal, Durant, Heatran, Lucario, Berserker, and King Gambit.
You know who I'm throwing out immediately?
Who?
Lucario. Right into the shredder. Feet first.
We have to make a battle party of 6, given those as our choices.
Ooh, Durant.
Durant, high key, OP.
2, 3, 4. Wait, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Five is the next number if you're still struggling.
Shit, thanks, man. 5.
6 comes next.
6. I got him.
All right.
You got him?
I got them. I've had them.
Oh, wow, you finished before me. So you go first.
Lucario.
Okay, same.
Melmetal.
Nope.
Interesting. Melmetal's super powerful. Iron Crown.
Yep.
Steelix.
Yep.
Heatran. Probably not. Oh, really? Okay. And Kartana.
Yeah, so instead of Melmetal, I was taking Aggron.
So Aggron, yeah, okay. Aggron was the only one that I was kind of going back and forth if I wanted to take. I considered switching Heatran for Aggron.
Heatran has the fire, and Steel is yeah. I was thinking of going Orthworm or Durant for the last, but in a perfect world,
Melmetal v Aggron is the theoretical battle.
Yeah, I think. You know what? I'm gonna switch it up. I think Melmetal wins.
Yeah, you're right. I won.
Right. Yeah, whatever. I don't agree with you.
Okay, so I won that one. And next, we're going to do a battle party of 6 from all Pokemon All Gens.
Yeah, I don't think you won that one.
I definitely won.
Okay.
Is that right? Battle party of 6 from all generations, fully evolved?
Yeah.
That's what we do.
That's what we do.
That's what we do, baby. All right. For those of you who are not watching, the Pokemon we have to choose from. Who the fuck
designed Huntail?
I don't know.
Okay, go on.
Probably the same guy who did Electros, considering they look identical.
Go on.
All right. The 15 Pokemon we have to choose from for this battle party are Huntail, Single Strike Urshifu, Forretress, Hypno, Sableye, Eternatus, Tinglu, Pyukumuku, Fearow, Nidoqueen, Delphox, Magnezone, Cacturn, Conkeldurr, and Mabalstiff.
Single Strike Urshifu, is that the water or the fighting one?
Don't know.
All right, you just make up. What is it? Too long of a pause.
Oh, no, I just hit the wrong button.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
what are we going to do? What are we going to do?
We might have to actually rerun that. I think I lost it.
You X'd out of it completely?
I did. I meant to click the search bar, like up at the top, to open a new window. I mean, to open a new tab.
Now it doesn't matter what it is.
Oh, no. They're gone. All right. Sorry, we have to do it again.
So disappointed.
I'm also disappointed. I wanted to see what I meant to do was search the answer to see what type Single Strike was. Tell us down in the comments. All right. 15 default, fully evolved, all gens, all typings. New list. Apologies. New list. Throw out that old list. New list. Chestnut, Cinderace, Kamala, Latios.
Kamala.
What's it called, bro? Like I've been calling it Kamala, but like
I think it's Komala. Koala.
It's Koala. Kamala, right? Okay.
Komala,
anyway,
not Kamala.
But Komala.
You don't say koala. You said koala.
I do. No, it's a koala.
Right. Oh shit! Look who's last.
Nice. Okay. Chestnut, Cinderace, Komala, Latios, Honchkrow, Throw, Brambleghast, Hitmonchan, Cooperaja, Feraligatr, Suicune, Spiritomb, Aegislash, Palafin, and Shuckle on the list of 6 to bring
You
in
don't
to your battle party.
fuckle with Shuckle.
You don't.
All right. Well, I already have one.
Ah, right.
Got him. Oh, 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 oh.
All right. I am.
You
Did you
ready?
put Shuckle in your battle party?
Absolutely, I did.
All right. Well, I'm going to continue my streak of gaslighting you. I also put Shuckle in my party to just cancel them out.
You couldn't pick anybody else that you liked.
I mean, I maybe could have put Chestnut or Cooperaja or Spiritomb in there, but
Okay. Well, you just named 2 of the ones that I have in mind.
Chestnut and Cooperaja?
Nope.
You took Spiritomb?
I did.
Oh, interesting. Good type.
I took Spiritomb, Cooperaja, Shuckle, because you don't fuck with them. Suicune, that's 4, right? Yeah, 4. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Latios and Cinderace.
interesting. So I have Cinderace, Latios, Suicune, and Shuckle.
Okay.
So your other 2 are what? Spiritomb and Cooperaja?
Yeah.
Hmm.
What did you
It's
take?
I have Hitmonchan and Feraligatr.
Against
Cooperaja and
Spiritomb.
Spiritomb.
I think Spiritomb takes out Hitmonchan, to be honest with you, because it probably learned some psychic moves. And fighting is weak to psychic, so I think I win that one.
I think Feraligatr v Spiritomb.
But that's not.
Feraligatr.
You can't keep doing that.
Well, you just get to pick? Oh, I'm going to use the one I have type advantage over.
Okay, so fine. All right. So for Alligator, Spiritomb, for Alligator
What?
wins. Cooperaja,
Right.
Hitmonchan, Cooperaja wins.
I agree. So that's what I was going to say. So I think it might be kind of a wash either way for me. I don't think because like Feraligatr, Cooperaja, you think Feraligatr probably would take?
Probably.
Yeah. I think if we like actually battled them, Feraligatr would take
Always a story.
Spiritomb.
Yeah.
Feraligatr would take Spiritomb so quickly that he could take about 40% of Cooperaja, and then Hitmonchan would come in and finish it off the job, and I would win. Put it down in the comments if you believe I won this anyway. Collector undefeated in the.
Probably if you say
games.
anything, I'm going to block you.
Undefeated, baby. Undefeated.
Shuckle beat everybody.
And then I use my revive on Shuckle to come in, put the finishing
No.
touches on Cooperaja.
Shuckle beat all of your Pokemon.
Shuckle takes. No, that was good. I think I honestly think that you have a better party there with Cooperaja, Spiritomb. Spiritomb's weak, but that type advantage over Hitmonchan.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about it.
Well, isn't also Cinderace a fighting type? Isn't it fighting fire?
Fighting fire, yeah.
Yeah.
But fire is what I took Cinderace for.
That's same thing. I took Shuckle because it's an absolute unit.
I almost took Spiritomb, but I took Shuckle instead. Had I taken Spiritomb over Shuckle,
I still would have happened. Because
then it would have been
Shuckle is the goddamn beast. I already told you it has the best defense in the game.
Wait. I need to like. How does this work mathematically?
Mathematically,
if I didn't take Shuckle. Then I would have had Shuckle. Then it would have been Shuckle Cooperaja versus Feraligatr Hitmonchan, and I would have won. Damn.
No,
should have taken Spiritomb. Yeah, I would have.
Because Shuckle beats all.
It's all right. I won how I won.
You all think that Arceus is the god of Pokemon, but it's not.
It's actually Shuckle, high key.
It's 100% Shuckle, high key.
Oh my god, bro. We haven't been recording this whole time.
Yes, we have.
I know. I'm just fucking with you.
That's
been another episode. Oh, can you? It shows you the red thing on your side?
Yeah, that's how I know it starts. That's what she said.
So many levels to that. That was rough.
Don't logic it.
You see the red thing and that's how she knows it starts? That's pretty rough.
Yes.
Well, this has been another episode of The Collective brought to you by Visine Total Comfort. If you've got dry, itchy eyes, try Visine Total Comfort. It's totally comfortable.
Nice. I've been Zack Mo, aka a wild Deidre has appeared.
And I've been Collector, aka Harrison III.
Thank you for coming. Good
Like,
night,
subscribe,
and good
comment,
luck.
share, follow.
Bye.
Bye.